if you're a UGC creator and you're wanting to make $20,000 a month and you think that is impossible, well, the guest today is doing that exact thing and you're going to learn all about it. Olivia, thanks for coming on to the UGC 101 podcast. Super happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started, it's so funny. I like the UGC world. It's small, but it's big, but it's also small, right? And so once you start getting into UGC, your socials, like certain people show up all the time and certain, and we've been following each other for a while. So it's funny. We started talking and I'm like, nice to meet you. I'm like, I feel like I already know you because I follow you and I've been seeing so many of your videos. And so you're like another big name that I've seen all over Fiverr for the last 2 years. And so I want to kind of get into your journey. I know you're crushing it. Like $20,000 a month is nothing to shake a stick at. Like crazy amount of work, crazy amount of probably prep that it's taken to get to this point. That's kind of like the golden standard. You hear people like, oh, if you want to do 10K a month, once you hit the first 20K a month, it's like, oh my gosh, this is wild. Right. And that's the kind of money that's like life changing. So let's get into the beginning. I love starting. This is like my favorite question. If you're a listener to the podcast, I love asking this question. How did you get into UGC? Like, how did you fall into it? What were you doing before? I love to hear that story.
Yeah. So I am a musician. I'm a singer-songwriter. And so right when the pandemic hit, I needed to figure out a way to work from home, right? Like everybody else. So I decided this is the time I'm going to teach myself how to record music at home, and I started recording competition cheer songs and lullabies for kids' YouTube shows and all kinds of music like that. And then I got into writing music for TV. So I wrote like 100 sync songs in a year. And that just means like sync is like songs for TV. Okay,
I was thinking like for like a sync company, like wow, like for your bathroom. No, you're talking about something else.
So in this like year, I was just doing music, like working my butt off. And when you write music for TV, you really don't get paid until it gets placed, and then it's like 8 months after that. So it is a really long time to get paid. So in this time, I'm teaching myself how to, write music, record at home, edit all the stems and send them off. And I'm working my butt off and I'm really not making any money because everything takes so much time to get paid.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, something's got to give here. So I was like laying in bed one night, I'm on TikTok and I see Arbel, freelance big sis. And she's like, I do UGC and this is how I do it. And I pay my rent in one day and I just use my phone. And I'm like thinking, okay, like I have all these tools. Being a musician my whole life, I've made so many music videos. Like I know how to talk on camera, be on camera. And I'm like, I can do this. And so I really love a personal experience. So like I saw her video, I sent her an email. I'm laying in bed in the dark on my phone. Hi, Arbel. I'm really inspired by your video. I would love to learn from you. Like literally, that's it. I sent the email. I'm telling you, in 5 minutes, she responded to my email and she was like, oh my God, you have to get my course. You would be amazing. And I did. And like the next 2 weeks, I started the course. I started my Fiverr UGC gigs. I guess the other part was for that previous year of doing music, I was also doing music on Fiverr. So I was doing like jingles on Fiverr.
Yeah. I should have had you do my podcast jingle, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we redo it from this episode on. Have you do it. That's awesome.
So that was also part of the thing why I was like, I can do that because I'm already on Fiverr doing voiceovers and jingles. I could do like UGC and I know how to make videos and whatever. So that's what kind of gave me the confidence. And so then I bought the course, I made all my UGC gigs, and then I had a meeting with Arbel and she gave me like a few key pieces of information. And from there, it just like skyrocketed. Like one thing I was doing constantly was making changes, like to all my gigs. And she was like, oh my God, you have to stop doing that. You can only make changes once a month. That's it. Yeah. And also like my keywords they just weren't efficiently working for me. So like we decided what would work better, and we made those changes. And so after my meeting with her, like I just started getting so busy. And of course my rates starting out were like really competitive. It was like $20,
Yeah.
30 and 40 were my prices. And I was doing so many freaking videos. I had like 100 reviews in maybe 2 months.
That's
Like,
gnarly.
and so then around that point, I reached out to Claire, Claire on
Yeah.
video. And it was like, oh, I'm so busy and I want to raise my rates. And like, I just don't know what to do. And, we just had a casual conversation. And she was like, when you raise your rates, you change your clientele. And I was like, yes, I'm ready to change my clientele. So I had 100 reviews. I was like, I'm upping my rates. And so I went from like 20 to like 125. And
You were
then,
probably so scared too.
yeah, I was terrified. But the thing is, I did change my clientele and I started getting like way better gigs. And, because when you first start out, you really are doing the shittiest like videos ever. But it's like you have to just pay your dues and you just have to do it and get over it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then that was really exciting to raise my rates. And then I just kind of kept raising them over time and learning that you can like ask for an ad fee.
Yeah.
So that was a really big deal too, because when I started saying like, oh, I charge $200 for 12 months usage, and now my main 15-second video is $325.
Yeah.
Like, and then I was still so busy. Like, it was awesome. I just kind of took little bits of advice along the way and just kept increasing. And thankfully, it just never plummeted.
Yeah. Well, you started, so like you said you've been doing it for 3 years now. Like this is your third December, right? So you started right after COVID, I guess, towards the tail end, right? And then you did like, did you still have the jingles and the music stuff available for a long time?
The whole first year of UGC, I also did jingles, but as I got busier, I just kept like, I can't do it. Like I was thinking about it the other day, like when I told my competition cheer, crew that I was like, I need to be paid like this, or I cannot do this. Like, I'm really sorry. And they couldn't meet me there. And then that was kind of like the end of that. And I was just thinking about how like, oh, wow, that just ended. And that was such a fun job.
Yeah.
But it had to end because like when you have people willing to pay so much for your time, it's like hard to refuse. You got to take the higher paying things.
Yeah, you got to chase
excel.
go where the money is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you probably, as you're doing like, you raise your rates to 125, then all of a sudden you're out of that like podcast jingle budget, too. So then you're like, what am I doing?
So then people couldn't, and I did have like 2 clients that were like, I really need this. And I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be like $600 for my time. Like, is that okay?
Hey, real quick. If you're brand new to UGC and feel overwhelmed, I made a free guide for you. It's called 10 Steps to Becoming a UGC Creator from Scratch. And it literally takes you from, I have no idea what I'm doing, to landing your first paid gig. No fancy equipment needed, no massive following required. Just a clear roadmap. Links below. It's free, it's practical, and it'll help you start making money like now. All right, back to the show.
And they were like, yeah, that's fine.
Wow. So you had some clients that were like super stoked on it and still were cool paying it. That's interesting. When you're talking about changing your clientele, I think that's such a part that people don't get. And the other part where you're like, you mentioned people have to put their dues in. Like I, as you know, I have like a Fiverr course as well, just like Arbel and Claire, and they've both been on this podcast. Right. And so I think we've all seen some of the same maybe like trends or behavior, I guess, where like a lot of creators, when they come in, they think that like, well, it's hard now, right? I mean, and I've only been doing this 2 years, but for the first year or so, I didn't see a lot of Arbels and Claire's out there. I mean, maybe I was just like had my head in the sand and I wasn't on social a lot, right? I was only on Fiverr, but it's hard now with all of the UGC. Like I said, our world is small, but it's also like, we're all like just a product of our algorithm at this point. And there's so many people out there slinging like quick success and like courses and stuff. And I'm have a course, so I guess I'm technically guilty of this, but I try to be as like honest as I can with people, that people like almost think like, what? I'm not taking it. And I even tell people to do between 50 and 100 when they start, even not even that low. And even still, they're like, well, I saw an Instagram video, they pitched 10 brands and 3 of them replied and they made $3,000. You know, I'm like, those reels drive me nuts. So it's hard for people to get. It's just not
reality.
Yeah.
That's not true. Like, you have to start at the bottom. And also, it's likely you don't know what you're doing. So like, why would a brand like pay you that much when you're just starting out? You have to learn, and you have to be willing to work for basically nothing because you're learning.
Yeah.
And only years in, like, I'm making, also Fiverr, I start at $6.50 a video. And if somebody's like in my email, and of course there's like times where I negotiate and I'm like, okay, this is not that difficult, I'll do it for X.
Yeah.
But it's like years later.
Yeah. You had to put your dues in. I think it's tough when, so like, I mean, for the beginners that listen to this podcast, I think it's hard for them not to get frustrated when they see people selling like quick win solutions. When it's like, guys, like, take a look under the hood. Like, for those people that are like, all you got to do is pitch, you pitch 30 emails and then 10 of them respond and then 5 get it. And then that's $5,000. You're like, dude, but what portfolio do you have? What do you mean? Like, how do you even know? You can't start like that, like you said. And that's why you take the low paying gigs, because they know they're getting low quality UGC. And that's not even to say anything bad about you. Like, I was there too. We all started low. Like, my first few videos were so bad.
I know.
Like,
oh my God, my first few videos were like, this hairbrush is amazing. Like, when I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh my God.
That's unreal.
Like, but what's great about Fiverr is actually that people will pay you like a little bit to learn.
Yeah,
so, like,
you're getting paid training.
Yeah, exactly. And they're expecting the bare minimum when your gig is like $20. Like, if you're starting out and you're charging $100, that, like, they're really gonna expect something great. On Fiverr.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work. And then also, like, to your point.
Everybody that I coach, I'm like, you guys, you're working for free for like 3 months, and you just have to get over it, because eventually you'll get paid a fair amount, but it's just like, that's just not what happens in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to like be okay. I told everyone, I still tell everybody, like, use your Fiverr as not only paid training, but then use the product of what your Fiverr videos end up being to like build a portfolio. Then you're killing 2 birds with one stone, and you're able to like really then put yourself in the game on some of these other places once you have a portfolio, right?
Or just use stuff around your house that you like already to make your portfolio.
Yeah.
Like, my first couple videos were all dog products, because I was like, oh, I have a dog, I'll just do dog UGC. And then eventually I was like, oh, but I can do more than just with my dog. So, but like, everything in my portfolio for the first 3 months was like dog toys, dog food, like
all dog
dog stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like Arbel was like, make a regular gig like without your dog. And so, and I did. And that ended up being like the really popular.
Yeah. The no niche gig is usually the one that pops off. Now, you should still, like, the dog one probably still gets one. My no niche gigs, my niche gigs still get some, but it's usually like, if you have, now probably 10 gigs at this point, but even if you're a new seller, you can get 4. One of your gigs will be the one that pops off, and it's usually the no niche one.
Right. Yeah.
It just is like, it takes over the SEO is easier on it.
I noticed recently that I changed a gig, the title, to like, I'll create UGC for your app and website. And that gig actually has really high impressions. So even higher than my no niche one.
Really?
Which is interesting. But it's also in a different category. So that could be why, because it's in the UGC category, where the other one is in like the video ads and animations.
Spokesperson. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because now they have a new category called UGC. Yeah, I've seen that. When they made we're talking Fiverr shop for a little bit, guys. So dig in. If when they did like the whole thing where they forced you to like update all your titles and stuff, that's when I realized that mine was in video and animation and not in UGC. So I did some testing, and it's interesting because half of mine I put in UGC and half of them I put in video and animation, and only one of the UGC ones popped off, and the other one that popped off was in my video and animation category. So it's interesting. Fiverr's a wild ride. We were just talking about it too. It's like, this is I'm a year behind you, right? So this is my second year doing it, my second complete year, just started my third year in this month actually. And it's been interesting to see how the platform has like evolved, but not like really improved. Not really, like they haven't really like improved the UX or anything yet. And I've tried to talk to Fiverr about this, by the way. I'm like, dude, there's like so many little things that would make your guys' platform so much better. Like, hey, let me type in a word into my inbox and have that word come up. Because how many times does someone send you whatever, like call it like, I literally had someone send me a sword, like a legit sword that I have to do a video for like,
wow.
So you hang it above your computer if you're like into that. And I'm like, could not remember who sent it to me. And it's, of course, it's not like Sword Company Co. It's like, it's the name of it's like RT2X45, you know, that's like their username. So now I have to go through all my messages of the last 3 months and see where we talked about a sword, right? But like how easy to be able to search your inbox for a keyword. Like that's the easiest thing ever.
100% could not agree more. The search is terrible. And then even if you know the username and let's say you're trying to like send them another offer or whatever, and you're like looking for it in your closed out orders, like you can't.
Impossible. Yeah.
You can't even search it.
Yeah, you can't search the inbox. You have to. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So it's been, I'm hoping they tweak some of those little things because I still am like, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm still Team Fiverr. I still love the platform, and I still get the majority of my UGC through Fiverr still, even with inbounds and stuff. But yeah. I'm like, you have all these other apps that are starting to really creep up in functionality. And you have all these apps that are like all fighting for market share, right? Fiverr and Upwork are the two biggest. I think Fiverr is the biggest by far. And then Upwork's like right after them as far as just like sheer manpower and employee count and stuff and capability for development and all that. And I'm like, dude, I wish Fiverr, and I literally have met with them and tried to tell them like, guys, you're like ahead of everyone, but you're not innovating. You're not, you know, you're going to turn into Blockbuster soon if you don't like start to innovate and make changes to your platform, because all these other platforms are getting built by UGC creators, and you guys are a freelance platform that tacked on UGC later on. And it's also wild to me because UGC is their literally number one category on Fiverr now by far, like by way above and beyond everything else. I'm like, I don't understand why they didn't want to ask creators for like improvements, like little things that are not hard to put in. Like I don't know, it's frustrating. So it's tough because I'm like, I still love Fiverr. I still do the majority of my stuff through Fiverr like you, but I'm like, if they want more users to come on, they need to make the platform better and then make it easier for both the seller and the buyer, right? Like figure out how to filter spam, make these people put a passport in or something before they can message me a screenshot of it. Like someone messaged me the other day on TikTok. Actually, it was super sad. I screenshotted it and sent it to another guy I work with, and they had written, they're like, hey, you know anybody at Fiverr? They basically clicked on those links that you see where it's like a screenshot of like, oh, your order is not working. Like I need your email, right? And you click on it and it takes you to a mock, like a fully fake Fiverr website that they've built that looks exactly like the real website. And it makes you put your credit card in, and they freaking take for their entire savings account for this lady's college. And she's like, we just lost thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, reach out to Fiverr, call your bank immediately, but like you're kind of screwed at that point. Like why would you ever put your credit card information in? They just didn't know. And I wish Fiverr would like work on some of those things to make it better for sellers like us, you know, like do some type of verification so people can't get on and just immediately scam people. Like it's kind of crazy actually.
I totally agree. But those scam cases are definitely not the norm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because like you see people talking on Twitter all the time that like, I get on Fiverr.
It's all in scams.
And like,
yeah.
But the reality is that's not all you get. It's just, they really do target new sellers. So if you're a new seller, that's kind of why, and you just have to move on. But that really sucks for that.
Yeah. It's like that's like a fringe case, right? people just need to respond 1 or 2 words and then block is right.
Yes,
because again,
exactly.
because they make it, it's a two-edged sword because they make it easy for users to get on as clients, which is good for us because they want to make it low friction. So if I'm like a t-shirt company, I can easily, join Fiverr and start selling in the afternoon, right? Or start hiring in the afternoon. But because they make it so easy, they also make it easy for scammers. And so they don't know who's legit and who's trying to scam. And so if somebody messages you and you just like don't respond, and then let's say they log out of the platform that day and 24 hours goes by, then all of a sudden they think you missed, like Fiverr doesn't know the difference between a scammer or not until they get reported a bunch of times. So like make sure you guys are responding and then blocking. And I like what Arbella, I talked to her a couple weeks ago on this podcast, and I like what she said. She's like, use the scammers to like drive up your response rate, to drive up your quick response rate. And so, but yeah, I see a lot of people like, oh, yeah, Fiverr's the worst because there's only scammers. Like, dude, yeah, because you're new. You have a huge sticker on your back that says you're new. And so of course they're going to try to scam you first,
Yeah, exactly.
When you were doing music, I'm assuming you still do music, right? You haven't given it up completely. Do you still do a little bit on the side, or you?
Well, I still have
UGC?
I still have tons of songs like in libraries. So my music does get placed still consistently.
Oh, cool.
I just had a song on Gen X, the show Gen X.
Oh, wow.
Gen V. I don't know, whatever that superhero show is on Amazon Prime. So that was really cool because that was a really big placement. It was really well paid. And I've had a lot of songs on like Netflix, Selling Sunset, Alone.
That's wild.
And like on TBS and all those like regular primetime TV shows. My songs are like on the commercials, or they're like in the interludes going between scenes and stuff like that.
Where are they finding you?
From the libraries that I'm in, like the sync
libraries. So you got it. So that's what you mean when you saw, okay, this is also new to me. That's wild.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, cause I have like maybe 200 songs total, like in these libraries. So people can just pull from them at any time.
Are you producing new stuff?
No, not really. Because like I have a daughter, she's almost 2, and my time is just so minimal for like time to work.
Yeah. You're like, I don't have time.
Yeah, exactly. And the UGC stuff I can just do so quickly, where music takes me a really long time. I'm like a perfectionist. And
really, how long does like one song take you?
I need to record vocals and background vocals for like a 3-minute song. That could take me like 6 hours.
Oh,
because I'm just like, oh, I don't like exactly how that sounded. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Then you have to like edit the stems, and it's just like a way more tedious process.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I can't believe your music's like out like on like legit places. That's
but I also
cool.
have like, other than the TV stuff, I'm on Spotify. I have a bunch of like personal albums that I've made that are really great. So if you want to,
what kind of music is it?
It's like pop soul.
Oh, heck yeah. Send me the links. I'm gonna put them in the show notes. That's unreal. Okay, cool. That's way cool. I what kind of stuff did you carry over? I know you don't do music as much anymore, right? What kind of like skill set and what kind of anything that carried over from
stage
music? Okay.
Confident, like memorizing lines. Like I would memorize a song. Lighting, knowing where good lighting is, knowing like what colors look good on camera. Like I've made a lot of really high-end, beautiful music videos. And so I just learned so much from being on the sets of those, especially about lighting and colors and how things look. And so I definitely carry all that into UGC.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and you probably can attest to this, the people you've helped, right? Like one of the hardest things for them is they'll take a course, right? And this is where people get stuck in my course. They'll get to the module where they're like, okay, well now I have to actually do the video, and they're so nervous to like get on camera, right? What? I know you already had it, but what like tips or tricks do you give people to like just get the freaking confidence and the bravery to do it?
I mean, we're all our own worst critics, right? So like, you just have to get over that part. You probably look beautiful, and it's gonna be great. So you just have to like, I don't know, like trick yourself, that you have all this confidence. And one specific thing I do is I take the script and I break it down into lines, and I'll just do one line at a time. And I think that's really helpful and a lot less overwhelming. So I say repeat that line 3 times, like, and vary it a little bit and then move on. Because chances are you probably got it on the first try. And just don't obsess. Like, pretend like you're on fire and just go. You know? Like, I think that's the best thing you can do. Just make sure your lighting is good, your microphone is ready, and just go. And then the other thing I suggest is like vary what you're doing. So like, here is the model. The next line, I'm going to unscrew it. The next line, I'm going to show you what's inside. The next line, I'm going to pull it out. Like, add an action to each line.
Yeah.
And then I think that makes it like really visually interesting. And I feel like a lot of clients they really appreciate that.
Something you said was super interesting. I like that because I don't think about that a lot of times too. Like, especially because if you're so dialed in on the script, and I've told people the same thing, like, don't try to nail the whole thing. And like, you're going to do what you take 6 hours. Like it takes me 6 hours to sometimes get through a script because I'm like, oh, I got to say the whole thing in one take, or like, that's crazy. Like just do one line at a time. But when you're talking, something you said that was interesting, a lot of people don't think about, including myself, clearly, as I'm wearing literally, I'm blending into the wall. Even right now, I just noticed that as soon as I started. Let's talk about colors. Let's talk about colors.
Okay. So like, if you were wearing like an olive green sweater, it would like really bring out the plants behind you. It would like make you stand out, you know, like.
I'm just getting roasted out here. I love it. If there was no shelf behind me, you literally would just see my head. That would be it. I'm like, I didn't realize that as I'm sitting here. I was on TikTok live right before I got out here, and I'm like, as soon as I took the camera on here, I'm like, oh my gosh. So what else? So stuff that pops, like stuff that's like obviously different from the background.
I think like, you know how on TikTok it's really popular to like find your colors right now, like your palette or whatever. Yeah. But like, so for me, I know I have like 3 or 4 sweaters and the colors look really good on me in certain locations. And so I kind of just use those over and over and over. And like, you can see if you put a sweater on and you like put your camera up and you're not really popping, like it's just change, like do something else. And then the other thing you can do is pick colors that are cohesive with the brand or the product, or that look good in the space. Just like take an extra moment to think about that, because I think it really does make a difference.
So let's like you pick up that product you just picked up a little bit ago.
So like this matches perfectly to this
with what you're watching.
Yeah, like see how this makes it stand out. Did
you record that right before you hopped on here? That exact.
I mean, I record all these a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, got it.
Like,
you repeat
this one too. Like that's okay. But see how it's not really going as well as this? See, now you can see like a little flush in my face. With Dennis, it's like, it's more pale.
Oh my gosh, this is wild. You guys, if you're listening to this, you need to go watch this on YouTube. You don't want to listen to this episode.
This too. This is better.
Yeah. Good, better, best.
Whoa, pale. Very pale. See this? Pale, washing me out. But like, you see what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's super interesting.
Good.
Good. I don't even think about, oh my gosh. So I'm not even, you're giving me a lot to think about, because when I do mine, usually, I mean, obviously no logos, like that's just one-on-one.
Yeah, never. I have a rack.
Like, I don't
right
even think
here.
about, I have a rack literally right behind mine too, but it's all just like plain tees and plain sweaters and stuff too that I only use for UGC.
Exactly.
That's good. So you try to like match the product. So like if you have a product like this, it's like, okay, what's going to look good with this product?
That's a great sweater with that product.
Yeah, I'm actually hey.
Look at your eyes, like they're really popping. That's
awesome.
So I try to just like make sure the colors visually look popping.
I appreciate that, because I've literally never thought about that once. I've had a couple people say like wear bright, but it's the brands kind of almost sometimes way overdo it, where they're like, wear a bright orange shirt, and I'm like hunting or something, you know. So I'm wearing like I literally had to buy the ugliest, brightest orange shirt because it's another visual cue. Yes. But I like what yours makes way more sense. You want it to be like visually pleasing to look at, and even if it's like subconscious. Like, you know, I have this product, but my sweater matches it and my face. And like, yeah, I think that's great.
It
I need to
first like look good with your skin tone, and then
Yeah.
second look good with the product. So like for this one, I would probably wear like a bright pink instead
Yeah.
of this, and then it would pop more and it would be better with my skin tone and this.
Okay. That's
You
super
know?
interesting. Yeah, no, yeah. It makes
Okay.
sense, but it's
Yeah.
that's like UGC 301. That's freaking
Well, see,
advanced.
and
I love it. I love it.
that comes from my music video experience of just like, you know, having to wear 20 different outfits in a music video.
To see what works. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so interesting. I've seen you can like you bring up the color palette stuff too. I've seen you can like pay people to be like, hey, let me like I'll pick your color palette. Like, what here are the best colors on you? I need to do that. And then
Well,
I've seen a lot of people.
you could, but just do it yourself too. Literally just stand
Yeah.
in position and take your shirts and see like what is working. And then when you find those like 4 colors that are working, just like really focus on wearing those.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I literally have 4 sweaters right now that I repeat.
Well, and it's interesting too for personal branding. It's like I've seen a lot of, especially on TikTok, not so much, is kind of the Wild West, but like Instagram, where people like almost build an aesthetic around their profile, right, around their page, where they're in the same kind of colors and all the same type of tones, but which means their backgrounds are always slightly the same. So yeah, that's something to think about too. And I think brands, especially if your portfolio, if you're wearing those complementary colors, that's something that's probably like almost like not even thought of a lot of times that will help your portfolio pop, you know?
Yeah, it's like an extra step that you take. It makes you look better and the product. And yeah, it's just definitely pay attention to that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's talk about lighting real fast, because I noticed when we started, you have like some awesome lighting, by the way.
So I have these 2 softbox lights.
Yeah.
And I can just move them anywhere. And then I use this like clip.
Yep.
That's all I use, really. And I try to be in front of a window as much as possible.
Yeah.
I started experimenting lately with like a dark background and a bright light.
Yeah.
Some of that looks really cool. I guess it just depends on the setting. But best advice is just like act like you care about the lighting, because it really does matter.
Yeah, it shows. Yeah, especially when you do have a product to hold, right? And it's not just like a talking head or something like that. So that's great. Yeah, there's a lot of new creators that listen to this podcast, so I think that's helpful advice. Like, hey guys, it does matter. Brands that are not just sending you that brief with like someone standing against a window for fun. Like someone was intentional about that.
And like these were like $100, and I've had them for 2 years. And the light clip is like $30. And I just always have that on my phone.
That's smart. Let's get back into your kind of story. So you you raise your rates, you start learning about usage. How, like, are you still at that point doing majority of your deals through Fiverr, or have you like started an Instagram and TikTok account? Or are you like only Fiverr from then?
The first year I really only was taking work off of Fiverr. I did have an Instagram and a Twitter, but I wasn't utilizing it, or an X. Sorry, I'm a millennial.
No, I still call it Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, so like I didn't utilize those platforms at all. I was just so busy and overwhelmed on Fiverr, so I was just putting my focus there. And then I hit a $10,000 month like on month 4.
Holy crap!
So it was just really accelerated. But I was working all the time, and like I did not stop. It was like so constant. And then probably about after 1 year, then I was like, oh, I think I can take on more. Let me start posting on X and Instagram, because I knew that people were getting gigs like outside of Fiverr, but I just wasn't ready to learn that. And so then when I was ready, I started posting examples on Instagram and X and TikTok. And then I think X is like the most popular place outside of Fiverr to get gigs for me.
And you're getting them by like replying to listings, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I try to post 1 example a day, but I don't always do it because I don't have time. But like if you're really trying to accelerate your UGC career, post once a day on X, on Instagram, And you can do TikTok. Like if you're not doing TikTok shop, then you can post on those 3. And I think that's a way to just be consistent and have your name consistently out there, and people will start, sending you emails. But at some point, you have so many repeat clients, and that's kind of what can keep you afloat, and you don't have to be so active on socials.
Yeah. So do you only post UGC examples on Instagram?
Yeah.
That's it. That's cool. And it's obviously working for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But most of my inbox stuff comes from X, like stuff that I'm replying to.
Just your portfolio that you've basically dropped a million places.
Yeah. And people that I've worked with in the past, and they're like, oh, so-and-so referred you for this project. And
so cool.
Like that. Yeah. So
yeah, that's one thing that I think a lot of creators don't get. And we're doing this event in March, and I was just on my TikTok live before this episode, just like trying to drill home that, like, guys, it's not even, and I don't care if it's my event. There's a ton of events going on, right? I'll be at our Bell's event in February too. And it's like, you want to surround yourself with creators, not just to, and you can't see them as your competition, because like there are going to be people that then connect you with other brands, because brands don't want the same faces all the time. Eventually they're going to get sick, like they're going to get ad fatigue, right? And they're going to need new faces, or they're going to need 10 a week for the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like they need variety. And those people, I get asked almost every single day, hey, do you know anybody that lives here that's this age? And it's like, I'm not going to refer those to just random people I know that I follow on Instagram. These are going to be people I've connected with, or people that have talked to me, responded to my story, things like that. And so I think there's so much to be said about networking within the UGC space. It's insane.
100%. Yeah. I recommend people all the time, like for exactly what you said. And then the other thing is, like, a lot of UGC creators become strategists, and now they're booking for other brands. So you always want to be like a cheerleader in the community and follow everybody and be kind, because you never know like who's going to recommend you for what. So
yeah, I agree. You always, there's this community overall is like really, really cool. I've only run into a couple instances where I'm like, I'm not going to recommend that person like ever, but like that are like almost like see everybody as competition. I don't like that at all. There's literally tens of thousands of companies hiring every day. Like there's enough work, more than enough work for everybody to go around. And it's only going to get crazier in the next 10 years as more companies learn what UGC is, right? The people we're working with now are like early adopters still. Like they're still in the early adopter phase using UGC. I'll think about how many times you do a competitor product. It's pretty rare. It's usually like, for at least for me, it's pretty rare that I get a competing product, except for beard trimmers. I've got like 900 of those. But besides that, every other industry is like different. What was some good advice you got when you first started? And then what's some advice you would give out like now that you've been doing UGC for 3 years and you've kind of made it to those 20K months?
I think good advice that I got was just keep going, be consistent. Like nobody really knows what they're doing. It depends on where you're at, but like you just have to kind of fake it. And I remember multiple times sending like ridiculous offers on Fiverr, and then when they got accepted, I'm like, that's
just
right.
laughing.
Like,
yeah,
like, oh, you're gonna pay me $5,000 for these videos? Oh my god. Okay, like you just have to fake it and talk like an expert and act like an expert, but then also like show up like an expert. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody is treating you like an expert, act like it. Like give their project the time it deserves and the attention it deserves. And but overall, if you're just starting out, just like be consistent, research, go be a cheerleader within the community, like post on socials every day. Just do something every day that like helps you be more comfortable in the space.
Even if you're not getting deals, there's still stuff you can do. You're not saying do a UGC video every day. You're saying like, dude, get on camera every day. Cause if that's one of your struggles, do that. If it's like, if there's one thing that you can add to your business for the day, like for me, like today, I'm going to go literally try on 900 sweaters and ask my wife what's my color. Like, what's my color? Cause I don't freaking know. Like,
Make sure you record it.
Yeah.
Record it because it's going to look different on camera. But that's also a great reel idea.
Yeah. Because I've been blind. I've been blind to the light apparently. But I think doing one thing every day. A lot of people are like, well, I haven't got a deal on Fiverr. I'm like, cool. Then get on other platforms like Fiverr cooks. Like, there's so much in your control. And if you don't have a portfolio and now you can't go on X, well, because I haven't done Fiverr deals, then go make 5 fake videos today, guys. 5 different outfits, 5 different settings, 5 different products. The brand doesn't know. They're not going to be like, wait a minute, the sun's the same in those 3. They must have filmed those the same day. Wait a minute. Like, no one's freaking thinking about that. Like, like you said, like faking it till you make it is honestly like my life motto. And I think that you also have to keep in mind, there's a reason the brands are not doing these UGC videos themselves. So however scared you are to be on camera, the marketing person at the brand is way more scared to be on camera, or else they would just do this themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like to have some, I feel like give yourself some initial credit for being willing to get on camera and talk about a product. I think a lot of people overlook that. Like, hey, there's not a lot of people that want to do this, which is why we get paid to do it, you know?
Yeah. And you just have to like turn it on. You know what I mean? Like, if you had a really crappy day that day and like people don't know that. They're not like, they don't know your entire story. They're just like jumping into these 60 seconds. So just like turn it on, become obsessed with the product and let it show, you know?
Yeah, that's great advice. A couple questions I want to ask you before we wrap up. I always love to ask these questions. Number 1, what was the worst? And you don't have to like dox the product if you don't want to, but like, what was the worst experience you've had and why? And then the second follow-up would be, what's the coolest product you've received with UGC?
I think the worst was this callus foot trimmer thing that I did. And I got paid very well. Like, but the problem was that it was like 25 B-roll shots. And the way that I had to contort my body to like get
use
the
it
shots
on your feet
that they wanted. Yes. And like get the shots that they wanted was insane. And I couldn't do it by myself. So like my mom had to help me. And we're like in the bathroom, like just smashed in there trying to get these shots and like, oh my God, like my body was spazzing because I'm like holding a position too long.
Charlie horse, yeah.
And I'm like, we didn't get enough powder. Like, so then I have to like dip my foot in baby powder to really make it like it's like snowing, you know? And my mom is like down by the heel, like catching the shot.
Oh my God.
Covered in baby powder and like, oh my God. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's
horrible.
Really, really bad. Like just any project that's like 25 different B-roll shots in 25 locations. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. But then you have to do all these like flexibility things to get to your feet too. It's like, what in the world? That's wild.
Exactly.
And showing your feet. Like I pretty rarely do I have to show my feet. I don't know why my feet are whatever. They're fine. But like everyone hates their feet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
That was pretty funny. The coolest thing I think I've ever done is I did a bunch of ads for Tempur-Pedic, like in the headquarters store in New York City. That was really cool. Like I worked with them a few different times. And the first one I did a street interview concept. And that was just, woo.
They're
Talk
hard.
about like fake it so you make it. Because I'm like trying to get people to naturally interact. And, you know, it's just really hard to walk up to people that are racing by. Yeah. So luckily it turned out okay, but it was like really challenging. And then I did a couple other concepts with them with my boyfriend, and that was really fun.
That's sweet. They flew you to New York? Are you in New York?
Well, so I used to live in Jersey. Now I just bought a house in Pennsylvania. So this was when I lived in Jersey.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I was just like 30 minutes away. So
Fiverr deal? They came through Fiverr?
That was not through Fiverr. That was through an agency that I worked with a bunch.
Cool. Dang, that's way cool. Yeah, I've done like a couple in-person things, but not for a product. It's usually been for like the Utah Jazz, like an event center or a restaurant or something, but like never in store like that. That sounds awesome. That's fun.
Yeah. I actually really like going like in person. So when I moved, this is another hot tip. So if you need something like a service or whatever, reach out to the company and be like, I make ads. I would love to do an exchange of service. So when we just bought this house and I got the whole kitchen like refaced, all the cabinets,
Wow.
and I did ads for them, and that was really, really awesome. It's so fun.
Dang. That's awesome.
And then I got moving companies, like both moving companies I used. I did UGC ads for them. Yeah, like I
and that's like
highly
thousands
recommend.
of that's like thousands and thousands of dollars of like that's like the only
Yeah.
time I would say gifted collabing is totally fine, when it's like something you actually need that you're going to spend money on, and
Yeah, I
high
think
dollar stuff too.
We saved like $7,000, like just by me
Dude.
doing those ads. But like if you need like something redone in your kitchen,
Yeah.
or you want a kitchen island or something,
Yeah,
just reach out to the companies, because a lot of these companies had never even had ads, period. And I was like, oh, this is what it is. This is how it can help you. And they were all on board.
They think about the customer base, right? They're not going to like be pitching somebody and then be like, also, can we film this whole thing? Like they're, and the fact that you're willing to do it and you're experienced is like worth it. It's like, I feel like the trades business is like something that hasn't been tapped into yet. I'm just starting to get some of those. I did a roofing one yesterday for a roofing company. And I'm like,
cool.
dude, there are like so many of these local companies that need ads, and they need real people talking. And so it's not just like, cause it's like their foreman like is going to hate, but you can tell when like, I have this another like random topic, but you can tell when some of these agencies, there's a couple here in Utah that like they hire the agency, then turns their employees into the spokesperson for the video. And I'm like, this guy is just like named Bob that just, you could tell he hates his life that he's on camera and he's in the company shirt and he's like, come to Bob's Tires, like we'll do it for you. Like you're just like, oh, I want to die like watching this video. I'm never going to Bob's Tires. Like it like does the reverse. I'm like, you can tell that it's so fake. I'm like, dude, hire somebody that like put them in a Bob's Tires shirt and like have them talk about the customer experience instead of like the spokesperson from the brand, from the trade side. It's so interesting. I'm like, these guys are like, they've almost got it, but they're like, they're not doing it right.
Yeah. But the thing about that is like, you could just find a local business you love, go in, pitch them, be like, I'm going to make you 15 videos a month.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is upload them. And I really think if you're good at what you do, like you would probably have a good chance at getting this retainer client, because you're offering them this service and they don't really have to do anything. And you're a professional at this and you're just going to hand them the goods, you know, like it going out in the wild for UGC is completely untapped. So,
local UGC is the most untapped market I've ever seen. It's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're new, I mean, maybe try that.
Yeah. I like it. Keep busy. Well, I super appreciate you. I'm going to link the course that you took into the show notes. So that's the number one question I get every single time I have somebody on is like, hey, can you show me the course that they took? So I'm going to link the course that you took, Arbel's course, in the link in the show notes. I also am going to link, send me your Spotify. I'm going to put that in the show notes too. I think people like, as a consumer podcast, I'm like, oh, I want to listen to that thing or like whatever they mentioned. So I'm going to put that in there as well. Your story is super interesting, and I super appreciate you coming on. I think it really shows that like if you show up and you've done something right your whole life, and you're like, you can literally pivot any type of career into this UGC thing. And there's like, it's all about like finding those traits or skills that you had in that thing and figuring out how they translate to UGC. But it sounds you're the first singer I know that is doing UGC. I think it's freaking awesome. I think it's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Thank you.
So,
thanks so much for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on. If you guys are listeners, if you're listening, please subscribe and like and share this with your other UGC friends. And lastly, we hope to see you guys in Park City, March 14th. Go to ugccreatorconnectevent.com to snag tickets. And we're gonna sell those things until they sell out. We're probably expecting like by 1st-ish of February. So there's not that much time left. Snag those tickets. Olivia, thanks again. And we'll chat with you later. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, that's it. If you got something out of this, hit subscribe, catch another episode, or share it with a creator friend who needs to hear it. And grab my free 10 steps to becoming a UGC creator guide. The link is below. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next week. Keep creating.